I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan. I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of color. So today's video is basically reviewing the Minimalist two new sunscreens. You've asked me hundreds of times to review this video, to review these two products. So finally I'm able to do it. Okay, so let's first of all start off with my criteria for the perfect sunscreen for skin of color. So there are a few things. Number one, it should be SPF 50. Anything less than SPF 50 is not really good enough for skin of color. The reason is, for us, any form of inflammation or UV hitting the skin can trigger melasma. It's a much bigger problem for skin of color than it is for Caucasian skin. The reason being that our melanocytes are larger and they are easier to trigger. Those are the skin cells that produce the pigment melanin. Once they're triggered, they're very hard to soothe and calm down and bring back to normal. Really, we want to be going for maximum SPF from a young age. From 6-month-old onwards, we should all be wearing SPF 50, especially if you're living in a hot country. The next thing I would look at is broad spectrum. Now, don't forget, just because a product says SPF 50 doesn't mean that it covers you for UVA. SPF 50 covers you for UVB. So let me give you an example. So for example, here's the Dr. V Inzincable, which I'm wearing right now under my makeup. It's SPF 50. That doesn't mean that it's going to cover you for UVA. It's going to give you 50 times as much protection from UVB. UVB rays are for burning. UVA rays are for aging. So actually what you want is a broad spectrum sunscreen, which says UVA broad spectrum. And what you want to look for is PA with 4 pluses. That gives you maximum UVA protection. Next thing to look for is it Nafe Safe? That means no denatured alcohol, no fragrance, and no essential oils. Because don't forget, you're going out into the sun. Your skin is being under assault when you go outside. You have UV hitting the face, you've got pollution in your face, and you're probably on your device, which is giving you blue light too. So your skin is, it's going through a bit of a war zone every time you go out. So you also need to make sure that there's no irritants in your sunscreen, i.e. denatured alcohol, which can dry the skin, fragrance, which is the number one cause of contact dermatitis, or essential oils, which can sensitize the skin over a long period of time, especially when you're going out and UV's hitting the skin. So those are things to be aware of. What I do like to see in a good sunscreen are antioxidants, because when UV hits the skin, free radicals form in the skin and they damage collagen, leading to premature aging. So for me, I'm turning 38 years old and I'm very conscious of fine lines and preventing my skin from aging. So antioxidants is non-negotiable in your sunscreen. Now for blue light protection, it should specifically say blue light protection, because there are specific ingredients that you need to put into your sunscreen. So for example, use Blue Shield in Inzincable, and you have to make sure it's in there. It's not covered by SPF 50 or broad spectrum. It's a completely different ingredient. One of the key things for skin of color is that it has no white cast. You can buy the most expensive sunscreen, but if it has a white cast, you will not wear it, and it'll be a total waste of your money. So for example, about a year ago, before we had Inzincable, I was using sheer zinc from Neutrogena. And for me, I get melasma, and so I'm obsessive with my sunscreen, and I don't care if I go out looking like a ghost. But vast majority of people would not find that aesthetically acceptable and just would rather not wear it and take their chances with UV, which is the biggest mistake. There's no point spending money on retinol or vitamin C or any other expensive skincare ingredients if you're not wearing your SPF 50. I'm also a big fan of multifunctional products. So a product that does multiple things. So ideally, I would want my sunscreen to also have anti-aging ingredients in it and anti-pigmentation ingredients in it too, because those are our biggest issues as we age. If you have oily, acne-prone skin, it's going to need different ingredients to dry skin. Either way, I prefer Zinc Oxide. The reason is Zinc Oxide is antimicrobial, which is great for acne, but it's also anti-inflammatory, which is great for dry, sensitive skin. So for me, mineral sunscreens will always be my favorite, because also it doesn't absorb into your bloodstream, into your urine or your breast milk. So this is why we recommend it to those who are pregnant. And even for my children, I would only use mineral sunscreen on them, because because we don't know the long-term effects of chemical sunscreen in the blood. It may be fine, but we just don't know right now. And so I'm always going to recommend mineral over chemical. Okay, so let's dive right into Be Minimalist's first product. So the first product is Multivitamin SPF50. So it actually covered a lot of my criteria and I was really quite happy. It is Nafe Safe, it is broad spectrum, it's SPF50. It has no white cast according to the reviews, which I'm happy with. And I love that they added niacinamide. Niacinamide is brilliant because it protects your skin barrier. It helps to control sebum, and it's great for sensitive skin. So there are lots of benefits with a superhero ingredient like niacinamide, and you should all be wearing niacinamide in your skincare because there's literally nobody that, you know, won't benefit from it. So I loved it until this point. But then they added retinol, which is annoying because it's an irritating alcohol. I prefer you to use slightly more irritating ingredients at nighttime when there's no UV assault on the skin. When you put an alcohol, which is retinol as an alcohol, onto the skin and then go out, it can lead to sensitivity of the skin, especially over a long period of time. I know why they did it. They were trying to use an effective antioxidant, but I would recommend you use something like vitamin C derivative, vitamin E, green tea extract. These are all UV stable antioxidants that I would prefer to have seen in this product. In addition, the mistake they made really with this product is any form of vitamin A will cancel out the entire pregnancy market, because when you're pregnant, you shouldn't be wearing any products with vitamin A in your creams. And so this was a bit of a mistake, I think, that they made. And I think they need to either create a new product, which is pregnancy safe, because this one I wouldn't recommend. They call this a hybrid product as well, but it is a tiny, tiny percentage titanium dioxide. This is really a chemical sunscreen through and through. I think maybe they put in the titanium dioxide just for marketing to say it's hybrid, but it really isn't hybrid. It is the vast majority of the filter is coming from the chemical sunscreen. I'd say it's an okay product. It's just not my favorite from the Be Minimalist range. I've actually made 2 whole videos for you on best and worst from Be Minimalist, including the newer products. So please do head over and make sure you watch those videos. I think the cosmetic formulator is excellent from Be Minimalist, but I just think they made a few slip-ups on that particular product. Okay, so moving on to the next product, which is the SPF60 called Silly Marin. And I have to say, I do love the name. I think it's so cute. It's because they've got an extract called Silly Marin, and it's very fun and playful, so I like the name. I love that it's SPF 60 and I love that it's PA4+. That's excellent. That means maximum UVA protection. It's Nafe Safe. It is a chemical sunscreen. From the feedback, there seems to be no white cast, and you're going to find this with chemical sunscreens. It is so easy. Chemical sunscreens are so easy to formulate because it's easy to not get a white cast. With zinc oxide, when you're dealing with zinc oxide, it's basically chalk, and you get 17% chalk in an emulsion and go, right, make that invisible. You know, it's so much harder. So there's no white cast with this, which is you'll find with most chemical sunscreens. There might, however, be a pilling problem, especially with the second application. So that's what I'm seeing in the feedback. So I don't know if any of you guys have tried this Silly Marin SPF 60 and what your feedback is. It'd be great to pop it down below. Just when you've applied 2 fingers worth and you've reapplied it, how does it apply? Are you happy with that? I'd say there are no bells and whistles with this particular sunscreen. It's not for anti-aging, blemishes or acne. They didn't actually use niacinamide in this product. But I would say it's a safe choice. It's an affordable choice. You know, it's a good sunscreen for basically £5 or £6. I think it's great for the whole of India actually to have a sunscreen which passes international standards and is affordable. Please make sure you join our private Facebook group called Dr. V Stock Family. It says Skin of Colour Family. It's a fantastic place for us to just review products and discuss our own personal journeys with our skincare. And it's a very non-judgmental, very loving group on Facebook. So please do join if you haven't already. You can have a look at the Dr. V store below, Skincare by Dr. V, which is basically designed for Skin of Colour family, and we do ship globally. Please do download your free guide for Skin of Colour. Link is down below, and follow us on Instagram. I've got 2 accounts, Skincare by Dr. V and Dr. Vanita Rattan. Also, please follow us on TikTok, which is Dr. Vanita Rattan. Thank you so much. Take care.